Curve is a short film by the spine-chilling short film production company Shock of the Week. It delves into the harrowing tale of a hapless woman who finds herself in a predicament from which there is no escape. She clings precariously to the face of a cliff, her life teetering on the edge, and the slightest movement threatens to send her hurtling into the abyss below. The film opens with the unfortunate woman, who, upon regaining consciousness, discovers the grim reality she's facing. It's a life or death situation, and she's trapped with no means of avoidance. In her state of panic, every tremor in her body nearly pushes her over the precipice, but she clings with all the strength she can muster. Her fingertips and the rubber soles of her sneakers are her only lifeline, keeping her from descending into the depths below. The film brilliantly captures her desperate struggle for survival as she battles to maintain her grip on the edge of the cliff, the unforgiving ground far beneath her, all while conveying the heart-pounding fear and tension of her perilous situation. Upon regaining her consciousness, she began to assess her surroundings, trying to determine the nature of this place. It was a perplexing blend of elements at certain angles. It resembled a dam holding back water, while from another perspective, it bore a semblance to some form of construction. However, no definitive answer could be found. The traumatic incident that had brought her here seemed to have had some impact on her memory, possibly causing partial amnesia. But at this moment, the clarity of her surroundings was less important than the overwhelming need to survive in this dire situation. She clung desperately, using the strength of her bare hands, struggling to maintain her grip on life, her nails nearly embedding themselves in the curved concrete surface. It was during this struggle that she heard an eerie sound coming from below, echoing in the hollow emptiness that had no visible bottom. It was as if the sound was beckoning her with an insatiable desire to consume her heart and soul. Or perhaps it could be a manifestation of her own inner fear. Nonetheless, it was evident that this place was far removed from the hustle and bustle of the city, void of any human presence, leaving her in a state of utter solitude. There was an eerie silence that exceeded the reach of any helping hand. And so, she had to rely on herself, using the other sole of her shoe to anchor herself even more securely than before, all in the pursuit of feeling safer. She pushed herself upwards, trying every possible means to make her way back to the top, only to find each attempt met with failure, as she either slipped back to where she started or descended further. All the while, the stress intensified, with no helping hand in sight, except for the bloodied hand, which was her last hope. It appeared that fate was on her side, for she found herself in a state of thick blood, a condition known as polycythemia, unbeknownst to her. Due to the abnormality of her red blood cells, the blood became viscous and sluggish, facilitating what she was about to do. She spread the blood across the palm of her hand, hoping it would adhere tightly to the concrete surface, much like glue, providing stability and effectiveness. Her efforts seemed to bear fruit, as it made it easier for her to move upwards. Yet, at the same time, she was confronted with a horrifying sight on the concrete wall, her own bloodstains, a testament to her struggle for survival. The impact on her brain from dealing with the accident left her entire perception distorted, giving rise to eerie and disturbing visions. Initially, she heard strange sounds, and what she encountered now was the heaviest burden of all. Apart from her struggle against her own impending demise, she had to contend with disturbing cries and unsettling images that shattered her spirit. But amidst all this, nothing was more wicked than the slowly falling raindrops, playing a mocking game, drenching those who were already struggling. Where effort resided, success remained elusive for her at this moment. In reality, it might have just been a fancy phrase, one designed to bolster the spirits of those in despair. However, in the harsh reality of her situation, there were circumstances where no matter how hard she tried, there was no way to achieve success, much like what she was attempting right now. Finally, the rain poured down heavily, as if the sky was weeping, amidst the desperate cries just yearning to survive. All she wished for was someone to extend a helping hand. she continued to explore every avenue to stay alive, clinging to the hope that prayer would work a miracle for her survival. Deep within her heart, she knew that hope alone was not enough to endure. Before she descended into the abyss, where there was no bottom, a place that would offer her peaceful rest and end the struggles, the film came to an end.